Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, greeting to all of you. Let me introduce myself. I am Ika Sholekah from the major of accounting. I will present my final project proposal with the title Calculation of Corporate Income Tax on CVABC in 2020. There are also topics that I will discuss in this presentation. Chapter 1 is Introduction, consists of research background, formulation of the problem, research purpose, and research benefit. Chapter 2 is Literature Review, consists of definition of corporate income tax subject, income tax object, corporate income tax rate, fiscal correction and reconciliation, and the last chapter is Research Method, consists of definition of research method, data qualification, method of collecting data, and writing method. Okay, let's begin to the first point about research background. The independence of a nation can be measured by the national ability to carry out and finance its own development. One of the most important state revenue comes from tax, meaning that tax are one of the large source of state revenue used for the national development. The tax received will be used to finance state expenditure, both routine expenditure and development expenditure, as a form of government service. The calculation of corporate income tax often occurs between the calculation income or commercial and the tax authorized. This is due to difference in the recognition of revenue, cost and profit between the company and the tax authorized. CVABC has provided in the tax application to calculate, pay and report corporate income tax. However, in the calculation of corporate income tax that has been carried out by CVABC, there are still several differences with the Undang Nomor 36 Tahun 2008 concerning income tax. Formulation of the problem. Number 1 is how to calculate corporate income tax on CVABC in 2020. Number 2 is how is the calculation of corporate income tax on CVABC in 2020 according to Undang Nomor 36 Tahun 2008 concerning income tax and peraturan pengganti Undang Nomor 1 Tahun 2020. Research purpose. The purpose of writing the final project is number 1 calculation CVABC corporate income tax in 2020 and analyzing the suitability of calculating corporate income tax on CVABC in 2020 according to Undang Nomor 36 Tahun 2008 concerning income tax and peraturan pengganti Undang Nomor 1 Tahun 2020. Risk benefit. Number 1, this research is expected to improve knowledge in the field of taxation and have skill in calculating corporate income tax. Number 2, this research is expected to increase insight in calculating corporate income tax in corporate environment. And the last, the research is expected to be a reference for the next researcher who take the theme of calculating corporate income tax. Chapter 2 is Literature Review. The first point is definition of corporate income tax. Corporate income tax is an obligation that must be carried out by corporate taxpayer after being registered at the tax service office and having a taxpayer identification number imposed on income received or obtained by the entity in a tax year, which is then submitted to the government. The second point is income tax subject. According to Undang Nomor 36 Tahun 2008, the tax subject is domestic tax subject, foreign tax subject, and permanent establishment. And then the last point is income tax object. The object of the tax according to Undang Nomor 36 Tahun 2008 is income, namely any additional economic capacity received or obtained by a taxpayer, whatever originating from Indonesia or outside Indonesia, which can be used for consumption or to increase the wealth of the taxpayer concerned under any name and in any form. And then the last chapter is research method. Number 1 is definition of research method. The research method can be interpreted as a scientific way to obtain data with specific purpose and uses. And then number 2 is data qualification. The type of data used in the preparation of this final project are grouped into 2. Number 1 is data by nature. According to its nature, the data is divided into 2, namely qualitative data. The qualitative data used in compiling this final project is an overview of CVABC, which includes its history, vision, and mission, as well as organizational structure and job description of each position, and quantitative data. The quantitative data used in preparing this final project are the balance sheet, income statement, list of fixed asset, and SPT 1771 in 2020 on GVABC. And then the next data is data according to the source. Type of data according to the source that are used in this final project is primary data. In the preparation of this final project, the primary data used in an overview of GVABC, which include its history, vision, and mission, as well as organizational structure and job description of its position, and secondary data. Secondary data used to compile this final project is a balance sheet, income statement, list of fixed asset, and SPT 1771 year 2020 on GVABC. Next, method of collecting data. The data collection method used to prepare this final project are number one is interview. This method is used to obtain clear, in-depth, and complete information. Interview were conducted with administration and finance department to obtain information about an overview of GVABC and information about expense account on the income statement. Number two is documentation. Documentary is a method used to treat historical data. The documents used are in the form of balance sheet, income statement, list of fixed asset, and SPT 1771 year 2020 on GVABC, and then the last is literature review. Literature review conducted by reading book to find additional information related to corporate income tax. Next, writing method. Description method. In this final project, the description method is used to explain the general description of GVABC, which include history, vision, and mission, as well as organizational structure and job description of each position. And next, exposition method. In this final project, the exposition method is used to analyze the calculation of PTABC corporate income tax in accordance with the applicable taxation regulation. Okay, that's all of my presentation. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.